Yo, check this out. All the color wore off of the Yoshimura here. It actually looks way better, all like silver. Sick. Also, I love that this jacket goes right over the gauntlet and it like holds on to it too. Actually really comfortable like that. Let's go. We're starting late today because the weather was extremely rainy all over the place. Anyway, thank God I managed to get out on the bike. The rain let up, so stoked to be able to get a ride in before it's too late. And if you're watching this video on the day it premieres, it's the first Friday of the month, which means it's Flashback Friday. And we're taking it all the way back to a time when me and my roommate lived together in these crappy little apartments in the ghetto of Goldenrod. And in the midst of having an awesome party with a bunch of our friends, and some angry, crazy neighbor decided to pull a gun, point it at our door, and let off a couple shots. We hear bah, bah, bah. And so now everybody's like, oh my God, like it's really happening. Could have watched my friend's face get blown off right in front of my face. Let's jump into the intro and get to it. Let's go.
But tonight, a News 6 investigation into a biker troopers say is putting you and your family in danger.
He's posting videos of it on YouTube.
That was awesome.
His antics have turned him into an internet celebrity.
RPS?
Yeah, baby.
It's not funny.
More than 100,000 subscribers. RPS.
Holy shit. She really do be fast though. So welcome back to another episode of RPSTV. We're out here on the 2015 Yamaha R1. Baby girl Mika. And like I said, it's the first Flashback Friday of the month, which means it's story time. I got the goods for you boys. I'm bringing you that dope content. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Let's go. But I won't make you wait any longer. Let me tell you how this went down. So, a long time ago when I was a wee lad, my best friend asked me to move in with him. And I was like, I don't know, it's pretty nice being at my parents' house, saving money. Thought about it for a little while. Wasn't sure that I was gonna do it. And he was like, dude, come on, it's gonna be an awesome year. And after he said that, I was like, you know what? Why not, dude? It'll be a good year. Let's do it. And so I moved in with my homie, and we ended up finding this place called Summerlin Apartments off of Goldenrod. And it wasn't the best area. She do be quick, she do. Take it down a couple notches, make it a little easier to hear, I'm sure. So we moved in, and we had all these rules that we talked about. Basically, we were like, oh man, our place is gonna be awesome. We're gonna keep it as our place of peace, you know, our sanctuary. We're gonna go to other people's houses for parties. That way they have to clean up the mess. We'll keep ours nice and tidy. No drinking and parties, no drugs. So we had this game plan. It was set. We were good. We were so stoked. So day one we move in. It's him, me, and a buddy of ours who helped us move in. We decide we gotta christen the place a little bit and just have a couple drinks and chill at the house and, you know, celebrate having the place to ourselves now. So easy peasy, we all grab a couple 32-ounce Old English. We play some Xbox with no furniture and just a TV set up in the living room at the moment. By the end of the night, I had already thrown up. Honestly, I wasn't even drunk. I tried to chug the OE, and like for whatever reason, I have the worst gag reflex in the world, guys. I nearly throw up like 3 times a week just trying to brush my tongue. And for whatever reason, chugging makes me gag. So I tried to chug this Old English and I threw up in my hands trying to stop it. It was a good time. But that was just the beginning of the year. Like literally day one, and boy was that foreshadowing so many good times in that apartment. So Mike and I had a lot of mutual friends that we got along with pretty well. All of us were, you know, college age, wanting to drink a lot. So naturally, it just started happening. Friends would come over, they'd bring a couple drinks. Next thing you know, we got 15, 20 people in the apartment and we're partying. So this started happening so often that it became the usual that I'd come home from work and there would just already be 15 people there, drinks all over the place. It was a great time. Fast forward into the thick of it. We're having people over all the time now. We've broken every rule in the book, and we got 15 or 20 people hanging out, and a lot of us smoked cigarettes at the time. So we stepped out back onto our little porch area, which was like 2 sliding glass doors on the bottom floor, and then like a little wooden porch area that had like a wooden like fence line area. So it was kind of private and blocked off for us, but you could like see right over the railing into the parking lot and the sidewalk right next to our apartment. Oh, what am I doing? I'm getting on 429. Oh no, I don't have to. Cool. I have no idea where we're going, guys. I'm just wandering. So a handful of us are out back smoking, and one of our mutual friends is out back with us hanging out, having some drinks. She, who will not be named, would all in good fun flirt with me, and I was not interested, and I think I may have also been talking to some other girl, so I avoided that subject at all costs. I was like, thank you, it's fine, no thank you. Hilarious girl. Anyway, so she's giving me a hard time about like, come on, why not? And I'm like, really? I'm just not interested. It's not a thing. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Leave me alone. But she doesn't want to let it go. And then all of a sudden, about 5'7" white guy in cargo shorts, a wife beater, buzzed light brown hair, and some like DC shoes on, comes rolling up, already wasted, walking down the sidewalk, right? She sees him and she's like, I'm gonna prove my point. She stands up, leans over the rail, and is like, hey you. And he's like, hey girl. She's like, you think I'm sexy? And he's like, dang, homegirl's on one, she's trying to get some. So of course he's in. He's like, yeah girl, what's good? And like comes over to the fence. And so like she was just trying to prove her point, but now she's reeled this dude in and he won't leave. So like he works his way around, comes inside, ends up hanging out for the night, and we're like looking around and we're like, where'd that guy go? We're like trying to keep an eye on him, but also it's a bunch of college kids and everybody's getting wasted. So like keeping track of yourself is the real problem at that point, let alone some random dude who does not seem trustworthy in any sense of the word and is literally there for one reason: to hook up with that girl who's literally only using him to prove a point. Anyway, she is also wasted at this point, and we lost track of her. We're like, where'd she go? We're like back out on the porch again, smoking some cigarettes, when somebody comes by and is like, yo dude, look over there. That dude's trying to get in the bathroom and I think she's in there. And we're like, what the heck, dude? I was like, okay boys, slapped a couple faces and I was like, we need to sober up. I need you guys to come in here with me and like, don't do anything weird, just be close by and paying attention to what's happening, because I'm gonna have to like kick this guy out and he's not sober and I don't trust him. So we don't know how this is gonna go. At this point, it's pretty late already. It's easily like 2 a.m. and he's like knocking on the door, putting his ear up to it and like talking through it like, hey baby, let me in. Hey baby girl. Hey baby, you there? Hello? Hey, let me in. So I'm walking up and I'm like, this is not good. And I'm trying to handle it with the least amount of resistance possible. So I try to take it chill and I'm just, hey man, what's going on? And he's like, oh yeah, you know, she's in there. And then he like turns and keeps knocking and he's like, hey baby, let me in. Okay. And I was like, she's fine, dude. Don't worry about it. You don't need to get in there. And he was like, oh man, I didn't give her my number yet. That's cool. No problem, dude. We're actually shutting the party down. It's getting late. Everyone's about to head home. She's gonna stay here. She's our friend. She's staying here. Don't worry about it. And he was like, oh, well, I didn't give her my number yet. And I was like, okay, dude, no problem. Just go ahead and give me your number. And so I whip out my phone and I'm like, cool. And I pretend to take this guy's phone number. I don't want it. She doesn't want it. So he's like, blah, blah, blah. Here's my number. Cool. And I'm like, all right, dude. Slap him on the back and pointing towards the door, and I'm like, you have an awesome night, dude. I'll make sure she gets your number, blah blah blah. And he's like, all right dude, take it easy later, and dips out, right? We break into the bathroom later, make sure she's okay, of course. Everything's good. Normal college party stuff. From there on, the night goes smoothly. Everything is Gucci. Everyone gets home safe. Cool, right? Fast forward a couple weeks later, I get home from work. There's about 15 to 20 people chilling there already again. Homegirls, one of them. Same story, different day. We're all hanging, we're all partying, it's a good time. Handful of us decide to go smoke cigarettes again. We step back out on the back porch, and while we're out there hanging, homegirl's there with us, mostly the same group of people's there with us, and we see this white trash dude walking through the parking lot again. And we're like, oh god, here we go. Homegirl is wasted again. White trash homie comes rolling up and is like, hey girl, what's good? And as soon as he got up to our porch from outside of that wooden fence thing, we could smell how drunk he was already. Between all of our drinking and smoke, he was so wasted. And he's like, hey girl, I'll be back. I got half an 18 pack in my house, I'll bring it over. And we're like, no, it's and he's already gone. I was like trying to be like, no, it's all good, you know? And he dipped, he's gone. And we're like, oh no, he's coming back. This sucks. And I was like, I got a plan, guys. Everybody go inside. And the thing is, he lived in our apartment complex, so it was only gonna take him 5 minutes to get there and back. So, thinking fast, I'm like, shoot, how are we gonna shut this situation down before it even starts? I was like, great idea. Everybody inside. Shut the blinds to the sliding glass doors. He can't see inside. Turn the music down to a reasonable level where it's super chill. You can't really hear it from outside. And when he comes back, I'll let him know that the cops got called on us multiple times, and this time they told us we had to shut it down. So everybody had to go home, and everybody who's staying here, sleeping here in the story, and he'll go away. Sounds reasonable, right? Wrong. This freaking nutcase comes back, and I have the door locked, everything's closed up, we're actually keeping it really chill. There's like 15 of us hanging out, just sitting inside on the couches, and the music's really low, and we're just chilling and drinking and talking. And this guy comes up to the door, and everyone keeps it quiet because we know we're trying to ditch him, right? So this freaking guy, half an 18 pack under his arm, and he's like knocking on the door and waiting. So I go up to the door, and I'm like, I'll handle it, don't worry guys. And I just yell through the door, I'm like, oh hey man, sorry dude, we're actually shutting down tonight. We got the cops calling on us multiple times, and this time they came by and said we had to shut it down or we're gonna get in trouble, and we don't want the cops to come back. So everybody here is staying here, and everybody else went home. And he's like, oh man, what the? But he's going off. He gets super mad. Like, he gets like crazy angry, and he starts cursing up a storm. So my other buddy who's standing next to the door with me pushes me to the side a little bit, and he's like, let me see, because we got a keyhole, right? So he slides up, looks through the keyhole, and when he looks through the keyhole, he goes, oh shit, what the f? He's like, he's got a gun. And then he pulls away. As he pulled away, I go to look, and as I look through the keyhole, he was just bringing his hand down from having his gun pointed straight at our door and going like this to look at it and wondering why it wasn't working. He put his beer down. He was fidgeting with the gun, trying to figure out why it didn't go off when he pulled the trigger, while my friend was looking through the keyhole and he was pointing it at the door. My friend now completely in shock, me not believing him at first, and then seeing it for myself, complete disbelief. I'm like, everybody away from the door. I shoved my friend away from the door, and I'm like, everybody get out of the living room into the hallway, away from the glass doors, away from the door, into the hallway where we're covered from all directions with lots of walls and rooms. I'm freaking out, and as this is happening, we all just get into the hallway, and from outside the double glass doors on the other side of our living room, about 15 feet away from us outside, we hear bah, bah, bah. This literal psychopath pops 3 shots off. And so now everybody's like, oh my god, like it's really happening. Like this psychopath has a gun and is actually shooting it. Everybody's ducking and hiding in the corners of the hallway right now, freaking out a little bit, pulling out their phones, not knowing what to do. And I'm like, I'm calling the cops. Obvious, I called the cops. Even in a shooting situation, when it's the most useful for a cop to help you, they can't. Like, what are they gonna do? Show up after you've been shot and maybe take you to the hospital? And maybe they can get a SWAT team together and shut down a threat, but not before they go shoot as many people as they want. We've seen that proven left and right. I call the cops and they're like, what's your emergency? And I'm like, our crazy neighbor pulled a gun on us and he shot multiple times. And they're like, okay. And they asked me some questions like, who is this person? Is everybody okay? Do you need an ambulance? And I was like, no, everyone's okay right now, but there's a guy in our neighborhood from our apartment complex that we know. His name is blank. He pulled a gun. He knows we live here, and he fired his gun off, and we don't know if it was at us directly or not, but it was right outside our house, and we were all hiding in the hallway. They're like, do you know why this is happening? I'm like, we had some people over, we were drinking, and this guy is a neighbor of ours, and we didn't let him in. And the dispatch is literally like, well, we have an officer nearby that we can send over there. It'll probably take him 5-10 minutes to get there. And I was like, okay, and then what? And they're like, well, they can come inside your apartment and file a report with you. And I was like, what? I was like, I know who the guy is. He literally lives here. He has a gun on him right now. He's drunk, and he shot, I think, at us after pointing the gun at us through our door. And I was like, I don't really want a cop inside the house. And the reason being, you know, college party. A few of the people might not have been completely legally allowed to drink. Or maybe they were. I don't know. I was looking at IDs. So basically they were like, we can't do anything for you. We can send a unit out to literally just drive through the neighborhood and make sure he's not still out, or we can send a unit into your apartment to file a report. And I was like, are you serious? So what's he got to do next time? Like actually shoot somebody before you're gonna do anything? He literally wouldn't do anything for us. I told him, okay, well yeah, do that. Send a unit out then and see if he's in the neighborhood. He's got a gun on him and he's drunk. And he definitely fired it off multiple times. Moral of the story, cops are trash, didn't do anything for us. So we went to the apartment complex and we tried to talk to them and like let him know exactly his name, that he lived in the apartment complexes. They knew exactly who he was. They said, yeah, we've had complaints about him before. And I was like, okay, so what, can you guys do something? Can you kick him out? Can you call the cops? And she was like, no, you can file a complaint, and if anything else happens, you can let us know, and then we can go from there. And I'm like, are you serious? We just told you this man had a gun, is drunk. Oh, look at all these puppies. And I'm like, are you serious? We just told you this man is drunk, had a gun, and fired it off after pointing it at us through our door. And he knows where we live. Like, what? Somebody needs to do something, or you just kind of wait around till he shoots one of us. And they were like, well, there's nothing we can do. I was baffled. My roommate was baffled. All of our friends were completely baffled. It's like insane. We have like 15 witnesses at least who saw all of this go down, and the cops won't do anything about it. Our apartment complex wouldn't do anything about it. It was absolutely insane. We didn't feel safe anymore. This person knew exactly where we lived and was angry with us, had already presented a gun, pointed it at us, fired off rounds. Like, you know, we didn't have guns. There's nothing we could do except for wait around and hope a cop would show up to protect us, which is gonna be way too late if that guy actually fired through the door, you know? And that would have been my buddy's face. Like, I was standing right next to him, looking at him look through the keyhole when that man pulled the trigger. Absolutely insane, man. Could have watched my friend's face get blown off through a door right in front of my face. And what did the cops say? Oh, we can file a report. I mean, like, literally, it just happened. You can go straight to that neighborhood, either find him walking around with his half 18 pack, or go straight to his apartment because they know where he lives at the front desk. We have his name, and you're talking about a drunk person operating a gun that definitely has gunfire residue and the heat from having just used the gun. Like, all of that's like open and shut case. Just go grab him and check out the situation and verify the facts. Easy peasy. But no. But they're like, no, we're too busy extorting people for money via tickets and shooting innocent people who didn't deserve it because we think we're judge, jury, and executioner. We can't go help you. And that's why I carry a gun now. Protect yourself, because they're not going to protect you. They don't even know who you are or care about you. The structure that a cop exists in is in no way designed to help you out in need. So if you have to defend yourself, you're the only one who's going to be able to do it. You can either run or save yourself in whatever way you can, but a cop's not going to get there in time to do anything for you. And even if they can, there's no guarantee that they will even try. So that was super sick. Ooh, sun is going down. Time to wrap it up, homies. Whew. Anyway, at the end of the day, we were all super happy that nobody got hurt. I was so freaked out by the whole incident, especially considering the fact, like, I literally almost saw my friend get his face shot off right in front of me. Absolutely baffled that the first time in my life where I actually needed the cops to help in some way or do something, protect us, and to realize that they literally wouldn't do a thing about it was crazy. And people will be like, whoa, they can only do so much because of the law. It doesn't stop them from shooting people all the time and getting away with it. Anyway, we actually ended up running into the same guy in the parking lot later, and when he was sober, and he seemed to have forgotten the whole incident and like everything was cool and like waved at us and was like, oh, what's up, dudes? Like, so mind-blowing. We were absolutely shocked and freaked out by that whole thing. So crazy. But I mean, it worked out best that way. Forgot about it altogether. Nobody got hurt, and we got to go back to, you know, having our parties and having all the friends over and enjoying the time we had living in that apartment. Wild time. Loved it. I'll never forget it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that story, and so wild. Can't believe it happened. I think back to that time, and it still like blows my mind entirely. I feel like it's so surreal, and it feels like that couldn't have possibly happened, but here we are, and it did, you know. But thanks for watching. If you watch all the way to the end, I appreciate it, guys. I love you. Smash like, smash subscribe, all the good stuff. Appreciate all your support. Everybody who's smashed that join button down at the bottom and supported the channel directly or bought a t-shirt, thank you guys so much. You guys watching these videos helps out tons. We're trying to grind ourselves back up, so make sure to smash like, subscribe, share the video. We got videos out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, popping off at 3 p.m. So turn on notifications and don't miss out. You guys are what make this possible, and I can't thank you enough. I'll catch you in the next episode, homies. Love ya. Deuces.
Hard for the course.
Oh my God.
Tonight, a new 6 investigation into a biker trooper say is putting you and your family in danger.
Move, go. That was awesome.
His antics have turned him into an internet celebrity.
RPS?
Yeah, baby!
It's not funny.
More than 100,000 subscribers.